Okay, I was asked to do a debunk on Big Judah, which is really just another guy that already did a debunk on it. That guy that kept taking off his glasses like he knew something. Ooh boy, and so he's just a wasted cause. Anyhow, he can make another channel and then try to talk a little bit deeper and not act so, ooh, I'm going to take my glasses off and act like he's somebody different. But when you look at the videos, you figure, oh, that's him. There he is. Yeah, it's the same guy again, trying to pull off that BS that got ruined on his other site, and he can't keep from doing it again on this site here. This is just one I picked out, and the guy said go pick out one, so I clicked it. It was on the side, and it said 12 times of Israel, and I go, well, that's an easy one. That's been debunked about so many times, it's not even funny. It's disgusting. But and where the diaspora went, and all these Caucasians of the Bible, Noah and his kids and everything else, and all of this is always a Caucasian book, of course, and blacks that were primitives in West Africa who keep saying these things were illiterates, didn't have any writing, didn't even know any of this existed, didn't know the pyramids existed, nothing whatsoever. But out of their jealousy and racism and hatred and low IQ to go with it, and the inferiority complex that it breeds, it makes people say stupid things like trying to take away the world religion that everybody already knows who had to do with and who it all started and who it is. And those people can fly now. Oddly, I don't know if you can even make it out in there. If you're on your phone, you probably can't. But he says Judah are American blacks. Now, they were never in the kingdom of Judah, and black people were never out, even made it through Egypt. They weren't even allowed into Egypt. In fact, the Simne Stele tells you they're not allowed into and ain't never going through. But, surely that happened eventually, but it didn't happen in ancient times, and black people are not mentioned in the Bible. It's not part of their heritage in any way, shape, or form. Due to Islamic slave trade, that was forced on them there, and then due to the Jewish slave trade that gets blamed on white people, who were also slaves, they try to pin it on that and then say, oh, well, okay, well, those were forced on it too. And it's a kind of weird forcing where now just give them a couple of generations unchecked and they're like, we were, and it's like, wow, you weren't. You were West African primitives. In fact, if you just go look, that's what you got going on. You have nothing going on. Nothing like this, and everything you have going on now is westernized, and it's all been helped out from foreign countries, and everybody knows it, so this just looks pathetic. It really does. But so he says that Judah's American blacks, Benjamin is West Indian blacks, so he actually thinks that the southern Indians that are dark-skinned, I guess, or is he talking about the West Indies, where the West Indies have gotten there, because these are the same blacks taken from the same tribes. You do a genetic thing and stuff, and it's stupid that he would try to pin down these things like this, but he tries real hard. Levi's the Haitians. Yeah, so apparently the Levites, the old priests, they don't have any priestly nothing now, and they take all their trees, cut them all down, make it to where they have a mud swamp, and then when they have a rainstorm come through, the whole place is screwed. And they keep doing it to themselves. Levi ain't too smart. Funny how he was the smarter one out of the group. He was a priest leader. So that doesn't correlate at all. Levi jeans, that wasn't from black people either. Ephraim, Puerto Rican. So now he's going to go with Puerto Rican. So now Mexican people are somehow related to, now he's pretending all the Bible is blacks, but somehow Mexican people get in there, which are of course from Spain, mixed with the native Amerindians of South America. Now how could that be possible? I don't know, but Simeon ended up in the Dominican Republic. All this goes off biblical ideas where like, well, Ham went here and then everybody that's there came from that one man, and so they're all genetically screwing each other, and that, well, we know that's not correct. We know all this isn't correct now in a modern society, but they haven't caught up yet, so they're still caught up in trying to grab at a lie. Zebulun is Guatemala and Panama and the Mayans. God would have been Native American Indians, so Native American Indians are God. How about that? Reuben is Seminole Indian, so it's funny, I'm not seeing any white people on the list from the Caucasian Bible and all their names. Funny how black people would try to do something so despicable and disgusting, but Asher, Colombia to Uruguay, Incas, Mexican Aztecs, Isaac, Argentina, Chile. I believe these people had their own religion, and they'll tell you straight up to your face, you're a liar. But if they want to covet along with you, they could. I'm not even going to go past this point with it, really. What we're going to do here real quick is just look at what his own people, now he's got people so caught up in this, we was kings. He's got a whole group of them, thousands of them. He get 11,000 views over here on his side deal, but even his own people give him 68 downs and everything. But let's just see what they say here. All these Hispanics, the white ones, are not Israelites. They are more Israelites than Africa these charts don't talk about. Not to mention Brazil. I mean, geez, the chart is garbage. Well, so this is black people telling you that his chart is garbage, that it can't contain whites somehow, and the sad truth of it is that it never contained any Negroids whatsoever. There's not one mention in the Bible, and it's not about those people. It's about people that started in Sumeria. And so now you hear black people going, well, we must have been Sumerians. No. And then it goes to the Greeks and Romans. Oh, we were Greeks and Romans then too, huh? It's disgusting. It really is. Let's see. Let me be the first to say that the 12 tribe chart you say all together like Tribal Quest is complete and utter foolishness. Anything in written form about us is just not to be trusted. That Most High knows that children are for us as us to know. Trusted charts and graphs or even racial characteristics. And the sad thing is that nobody ever wrote about you. The things that wrote about you were about slavery and things like that. And it will never be not that. You're not going to get the world to try to change to believe some stupid thing whenever it's all part of the heritage of the people that are running everything. That would be quite self-destructive for you to attempt. Please keep trying. Cloud of Spare Not says exactly why people look at us as a joke. Hell, a 4-year-old knows we're not the same. Just calling him out. So I don't have to call him out. His own people. He comes up with yak crap, and his own people just show him. The same man that created that chart taught the world would end in the year 2000. Yep, that is true. And also taught Jermaine Grant that God sent comforter and all these things. And then that a black space god was coming back. And that's not going to happen either. Because blacks aren't in that Bible. So none of that can possibly happen. Blacks need to develop their own religion. See, this India people we just talked about a minute ago? They've got their own religion. All the Mayans and stuff, they had their own thing too. Now they've embraced Catholicism, and they know it has nothing to do with black people. And they know black people are trying to embrace it too. The weird thing out of everybody in the world that's embracing it is, there's only one that keeps going, we was Hebos! And it's disgusting. Curtis Morgan says, this is a fake chart. Everybody in that chart would have to be of Negroid descent. Beverly, oh my God, with makeup on, says, the chart is bogus. I've been following your teachers quite a while, but I can't agree with you on this 12 tribe story. It just doesn't add up. So she's willing to be gullible to a damn extent, but she knows this is wrong. Why? Well, because it's got Amerindians and blacks and Mexicans, and you know that doesn't have anything to do with each other, and you're trying to say they all came from one people. Those one people were the Caucasians of the Indo-Aryan people that were all over the Sumerian and Middle East and all over the entire area, all the way from China to India, into Egypt, across Persia, all the way up into Europe. All those over whiteys. Yep. And we're not going to try to change and go, oh, well, there were some blacks lollygagging around someplace. Yeah, so it's, oh, Mongoloids are not our people. This is not our people. You're not the people of the Bible. That's exactly it. The Shapeship record should be more accurate than those tribe charts. They would be if it was talking about anything, but the slave charts are showing you the people of the Bible going over and picking up black people that sell their own people off as unwanted slaves for beads and alcohol like a drive-through slave mart. So that's not reality either. It's always crackers trying to explain everything away. That's how you know the guilty. It's always blacks trying to covet and explain everything away. That's how you know the non-involved. False chart. Big Judah. Keep coming around, but false chart. There are the fruits. They shall know them. That's the only way. All this stuff, and the fruits of the black people aren't really looking that great. Oh, I don't know what's happened here recently. Well, Aurora and a black mass shooting because he thought he was going to lose his job. This is great. And then over and above that, I guess the overshadowing thing is your Smollett. Yeah, your Jussie Smollett, who recently tried to make up some racist, hateful, black war inciting lie that ends up backfiring in his face, and I hope he's ruined for his life. And we're just gonna, every time a black person calls out, uh, any kind of BS from now on, we'll be like, hey Jesse, what's going on, Jesse? This is a fake damn chart again, false prophet. Yep, people really shouldn't listen to or believe this. Wow, it's common knowledge that this chart is false and makes no sense. So his own people are calling him out. I don't even have to do it. It's sad, but see, blacks can't agree which lie to go on, and every once in a while that little cognitive thing will kick in and show them that no, well, that doesn't make sense. Even though the black people are going, stare at me and believe, gullible people. Yep, makes you wonder who made it work in their mind. Reality, people, is that all the Caucasians of the Bible were all Caucasians, and there were never not a Caucasian. Jacob and Esau are Caucasian twins. There's no way one comes out with non-Neanderthal, da-da-da. And let's just pretend for one slight moment that happened. Who would it marry then? You're saying one magic Negro from a curse. Okay, let's go with that. Who would it marry? Now you've got a mulatto. Who would that marry? Now you never can make Negroids that don't have Neanderthal mix, that are primitives living down in Africa. So it's all a lie. It's not your book. It never was about you. When they say all the nations, they're talking about the nations right there and nothing to do with Africa. Didn't really know sub-Saharan Africa existed. And in turn, sub-Saharan Africans didn't know the rest of the world existed. And that's just the way that it was. And jealousy and envy and hatred won't make that change. And no matter what you do, history will never change the fact that that's the way that it went down, and that you're not the people of the Bible. That's about it. That's enough. They debunk themselves. Their own people debunk them as they're trying to debunk themselves. That's it.